This is A7X Fan Ben with Xerecs, and this is episode number 34 of the Pirate CSG podcast. So tonight we've got kind of a short episode, and God Mason wasn't able to join us tonight. And basically we're just going to go over some news, some little random news topics, and then after that it's going to be pretty much all custom reviews from there. So how have your things been going in your neck of the ocean, I guess you could say?
I'm okay.
Alright, cool.
All right,
Any interesting pirate stuff lately, or no?
Oh, for me, any news? I'm working on Savage Seas.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I'm gonna hopefully do some videos about that in the next couple days, get some stuff going on my channel, etc. and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But not a whole lot of stuff otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Alright, cool. Yeah, so getting into the main news that I had on the screen, if anybody's watching the video on the podcast, you can see the forum at Pirates with Ben. I've been optimizing my fan site. I've worked on the speed. I did a post on there and talked about it a little bit at Miniature Trading. And I've finally got the forum up to speed a bit. It's still a bit slow, especially like certain topics or certain pages. But I'm going to continue trying to optimize the speed. But basically, the forum is up and running, and there's about 20 confirmed members and some other ones still pending. You have to do like the email activation, so you can sign up in the upper left corner and register, and then login buttons. Wolf is on there. Xerecs and I are posting in the custom ships thread pretty much every day. There's an introduce yourself thread. So I've
there's 8 people there.
Yeah, and there's some people. I like how I can customize the right sidebar to see like which members have been active lately. So at least 5 just today alone. So, and then the most recent replies.
Nice.
Like that. Then there's the forum search bar too, in addition to the site search. So that's nice to have. The search functions are always good to use. And yeah, I've been reproducing some topics from Miniature Trading, some classic ones like eBay, random topic thread, game ideas, stuff like that, battle reports. So anyway, and then speaking of battle reports, yesterday I started playing in the hourly campaign. So there've been like 5 prep sessions, and then last night I was finally able to start the game. And in the YouTube link in the description below, and on the other sites, hopefully there will be a link to the playlist on YouTube for the hourly campaign. And that's about once a week, playing a solo campaign game on VASSAL. And then finally, to wrap up, yesterday and today I've been going kind of crazy, actually republishing some of my best battle reports from most of my campaign games that have pictures, because the best form of those is still at Miniature Trading. And as long as the post images URL doesn't change again, those reports are actually back in business. So I actually transferred those good reports with the working picture links over to Pirates with Ben. So I've been doing that.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what you can see. I'll scroll down, let me go to the other window again. And then yeah, on the sidebar, most of the sidebars on my site have like recent posts. It's a little bit farther down on the forum page because I wanted to concentrate on the forum, but under recent posts, that'll show the most recent 5. Right now, it's almost all campaign game stuff. And then I'm gonna make, I think sometime, I don't know about on the homepage, but somewhere I might make kind of like a link directory to the campaign game so the posts don't get lost once they're not as recent. But the next task is I think I might publish one more tonight, and then after that, Command the Oceans, I'm going to finally start reposting those as well. So it's good to get my content back out there. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the news. So hopefully Miniature Trading will keep going, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So
it's not looking likely.
Yeah. And I don't know, even if it
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, even if it does survive, at this point, I've been burned too many times by not having my content hosted on my own, so I don't know, I'm hesitant to like invest a lot into a site that might go down or that I don't control, so I'd rather just put it at Pirates with Ben from now on. But anyway. Yeah, so, and speaking of Miniature Trading, that's where I'm going right now for Custom Ships Organized Version, as we're going to get into the custom reviews. And I'm going to read off the ones from the Organized Version thread. So we've picked out, kind of similar to some of the past episodes, we've picked out a few customs from each creator, or most of the creators. Some of them are kind of finished up actually from the first page or in other spreadsheets and whatnot. But I think we've got around 6 different custom creators that we're going to look at customs from. And the first one is actually God Mason, ironically. And the French, he's got a ship called Le Jockey, and this is a French 2-master. It's 9 points, 4 cargo, SS move, cannons are 4S, 4S, and this ship gets plus L to her base move instead of plus S when she touches a trade current. So I see this one as kind of just a basic gold runner. I would probably do a helmsman, make it 3S speed with 3 cargo available for 11 points. Not the best the French can do, but not bad either. And then definitely one you would want to use a navigator with, because then you could work it up to 3 S's and an L. So SSSL very fast. So not a bad gold runner for the French.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah. And then, all right, let me just look at the doc.
Definitely warrants, like, using a navigator somewhere else in the fleet.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then I'll go to the next one, which is from Vixenish Coder 66, and this one is Lizard Lighthouse. So if you remember from the previous podcast episodes,
a lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouses are basically similar to forts. So there's light that goes LL from the base of the tower, the base of the lighthouse, and then the light emitted from the lighthouse follows the rules for trade currents. Single hit is required to eliminate the lighthouse flag. Once it loses its flags, it's no longer operational, and then one hit will destroy it. So those are the main rules for the lighthouse. The full keyword is miniature trading. I'm pretty sure I have full page pictures of that thread, those 2 pages, in case it goes down. So basically, Lizard Lighthouse is an English lighthouse, costs 2 gold, just the 1 flag, of course, 2 cargo. Ability is Lighthouse, and then King's Shilling. So I don't know if we've seen this one yet, but this is a custom ability for the lighthouses. When an enemy ship is within the range of this lighthouse, roll a d6. On a result of a 6, the enemy player takes a crew member from their ship and places it on the island with the lighthouse. The crew now belongs to the English nationality and to the owner of the lighthouse. That's very similar to the possession.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and the lighthouse range is L plus L, so that's actually pretty solid compared to just the S range of the possession ability. And you can still use, I guess, it doesn't say anything about negating the bonus of the lighthouse, so you still would get the speed bonus, so there's no, you don't give up any other abilities. So for 2 gold, of course it's fragile like the other lighthouses, but I would say this is a pretty cool one. And one thing I'm already thinking about, because Xerecs and I just played the Savage Shores anniversary game 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, put this on a great turtle.
Exactly, put it on a great turtle, and then you could extend the range to like SSLL. Possess crew.
Interesting.
That would be crazy.
I'm not thinking about great sea turtles.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is interesting. Oh, and it's Lizard Lighthouse, so the name fits too. This is perfect for a turtle.
Yes, reptiles of a feather.
Nice.
Or scale, or whatever. Reptiles of a claw. Pick your poison.
Yeah. Yeah, I do find this one interesting. I still want to use lighthouses more.
Yeah.
It does.
I kind of do as well, but I'm still not 100% about how they completely function.
Yeah, I didn't want
to... Okay, like, why do they have cargo?
Yeah, because I think you can protect certain ones. It says crew held within the lighthouse are protected from capture as long as the lighthouse is in operation.
Oh, so that's what the cargo's for.
I think, I don't
Possibly.
know if yeah, that's what it's for. I don't know if anything else. I know we read the whole keyword on a different episode, so I didn't want to repeat it. I just wanted to do the basics, but yeah. And maybe, I would imagine you could probably put a coin in there, and then that would be protected as well. But anyway.
And lighthouses are, I believe they're attached to forts or something.
Yeah, it says they're...
Or are they a separate thing from a fort?
Yeah, they're kind of separate, but it says they follow the conditions for building forts. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like their own little independent thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can probably make some of these things out of Lego, and they'd be a good scale for the game.
That's a good point.
Just give some of those 1x1 round pieces, stack them up.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah. Oh, and then there's some... I remember there's some Lego pieces like that with like a hole, like a circular hole through the middle. You could put like one of the little yellow things in there or something like that. That would work well. Yeah. Yeah, I made some cardboard ones for Command... Well, not just for Command the Oceans, but yeah. They're a little thick, but still decent. I've actually found a couple pieces of plastic or maybe one piece of wood as well that are circular that could be used decently, but I'd have to kind of make them look a little different. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll
Probably some really thick dowling rod would be good for making them out of wood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got like
or else you spend a ton of time sanding down a square one.
Yeah, I've got a couple like random cylinder things that I should take a look at again sometime. All right,
Stumble
the Lizard
across.
Lighthouse overall is pretty cool, and then it's basically possession with a lighthouse. All right, so now we.
And it only costs 2 gold to make, so that's really cheap.
Yeah, because it's so fragile.
That's a good way to snag some crew.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, if you get the right die rolls, that is.
Yeah, 6 is still tough. Okay, so we're on to J.W. Darkhurst, Xerecs' brother, and from him we're into the English faction with HMS Lambert Light, which is a 3-masted 14-point ship, 3-masted schooner actually. Guns are 2S, 3S, 2S, 3 cargo, S+S move. Along with the schooner keyword, it says, if this ship successfully hits an enemy ship with all of her cannons, eliminate an extra mast from that ship. It's almost like a kind of similar to Broadside's attack in a way with the extra hit damage. But I actually took a quick little peek at this one earlier just as I was confirming which ones we were going to go over, and I think it could be a little cheaper. I think 11 points would be fair. HMS Nautilus is not really underpriced as a very good 3-masted gunship for 10 points, and I think this one is probably worse. So, like, I don't know if 10 points is cheap, but 10 or 11. I don't think any more than 11 is necessary for this one.
Yeah, I would probably agree. 6 hits a ship with all of her cannons. That if part is what helps the ability.
Yeah.
And depending upon who's using this, if your die are deciding to hate you, and you roll 3 or 4 ones, the ability is just kind of useless.
Yeah.
I think when he made it, he thought the ability was worth more. So this is probably one that could come down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, come down like 3 points to 11, maybe 10, but
yeah,
I don't really think. I don't know, 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I'm gonna try to mess around with the windows here. Okay, move to bottom. That's not working.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream since the ban from MT.
Yeah,
I can't access the site, so I'm looking at the site, the forum via the stream.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, I got it to work. Okay, so now we're gonna go to El Cazador's newest custom set, which is called Rise of the Moon Sorcerer. And some people may recognize that name because the Moon Sorcerer is one of my featured named crew and one of the early ones from Pirates of the Epic Seas, which we'll look at after this set. And you've got the spreadsheet up, probably?
Yeah, I got a spreadsheet up. I'm on that beginning keyword part.
Yeah. If you
where he's got the little intro thingy.
Yeah, if you want to read that, or
all right,
the first chunk, whatever.
I'll read the big thing in yellow. Rumors swirl of an ancient Aztec relic, the head of, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry, having lost in the Caribbean long ago. Will you join Vice and the pirates as they seek the relic to keep it out of the wrong hands? Will you join the Spanish in their holy duty to destroy such profane and blasphemous objects? Will you side with the cursed and their sympathizers in an attempt to turn such a treasure into a powerful weapon? Will you make the Moon Sorcerer rise to glory, or will you make him fall into obscurity? Return to the Spanish Main and join the hunt for gold, glory, and legends. Only you can challenge the balance of power in Pirates of the Cursed Seas, Rise of the Moon Sorcerer.
Nice. Yeah, so this is a kind of an interesting little mini set, at least for him. And yeah, so it's based on the Moon Sorcerer, but then he really extrapolated and got a ton out of it, really. So
he based this on your crew and then just went nuts?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff, which is cool. So yeah, it's kind of set in the Caribbean. But anyway, so for this one, my general idea was to look at least probably one or two crew and ship combos, because I already see links on the second sheet.
Oh yeah. So this stuff there's links all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we could do the first 2 ships and then their crew as well. And And you haven't read it, so you can start if you want.
Alrighty. Starting off here, we've got the first ship. It is the Delphine, I believe, because it's got that little thing on the eye at the end there. Alright, 15 points, 5 masts, 5 cargo. All 5 3L cannons, base move of S+S. Links to a person or thing, El Castellano. And Spanish crew can use their abilities aboard this ship. Alright. Pretty simple, rather generic, nothing exciting on the ability. That's a pretty cheap ability too, so this is a pretty cheap 5 master, so you could get some really good crew on this. You could make this an interesting hybrid. He's got enough cargo, and he's quick enough base speed to bring on some Spanish gold haulers to complement what the pirates can do on their own.
Yeah.
Or you could just go pure pirate and get a decently cheap 5-masted gunship.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3L cannons are, like, you know, the next best thing after 2L cannons. I mean, they're kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
I'd probably want to try to get some kind of, yeah, but for me, personally, when I build a gunship, if they've got, like, you know, all rank 3L cannons or, like, all like that, kind of in the middle values for me, I would want to try to put some kind of cannon bonus on it somehow. Or find a way to give it a cannon bonus to make it more accurate.
Yeah.
Because the number of times I have, like, rolled a 3 on rank 3 cannons.
Me too, yep. Yeah, I've always said 3S cannons are actually one of my least favorites. 4Ls are, like, I hit probably just about the same accuracy. At least it feels like it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this ship as a potential hybrid. I'm thinking, like, Dominic Frida plus, like, Hammersmith would be a nice combo, among others. But the pirates and the Spanish, combining those two factions worth a name crew is really, really nice. So. Alright, so I'll scroll down or try to find.
Check out her link.
Yeah.
Her linked crew?
I just found it. Yeah. So the link is linked crew El Castellano, which is a 9-point pirate name crew, linked to the Delphine, of course. And the sets are organized a little differently. He does a whole column for keywords. So we've got Ransom, Parley, and the reroll ability, which he calls Second Chance, but we're used to just calling it reroll. And then also, one turn, if this ship is touching another ship, she can randomly take as much treasure from the other ship as she can carry. Wow, so like Peter Miles.
Wow.
Yes, that's a pretty loaded crew and an interesting one. I like that. It's kind of...
Ransom puts a target on his back for gold capturers everywhere.
Yeah.
Bonnie Peel is coming for this guy's butt.
Yeah. This is...
I'm gonna get you.
This is complicated, actually. I really like this. It's really fun to think about. I love how Parley is combined with, like, similar to hoarding gold. And you've got plenty of cargo. So, with him, a captain and helmsman, oarsman, you'd have, I guess, 3 cargo due to the link and the oarsman not taking up space. And then, I guess it gets a little bit complicated because if you do use the linked crew, you're probably not going to use many Spanish crew, if any, which is okay. You could make it some kind of weird, super, well, not really, because you just run out of point cap space pretty quickly. That's all right. You might have to. It's kind of a trade-off crew, so you might have to not be a hybrid.
Yeah, decide if you want to use him on his linked ship or not.
Yeah, exactly. I think in higher point games would be fun, but.
Oh yeah. I mean that ability to take as much treasure from the other ship as she can carry, without having to win a board, just by touching it, which means you don't even have to ram it, you just have to find a way to touch it somehow.
Yeah. With the
so I normally don't get that, I guess, precise when I'm, like, moving ships around. So if I want to, like, you know, touch a ship, I will ram that ship.
Yeah.
I don't do that thing where you slide up, like, and, you know, just hit it side to side so that you're touching, but you're not rammed.
Yeah.
I usually don't do that. So what I would try to do to use him, I'd put him on, like, you know, some kind of, like a galley or something that can be pinned, or a switchblade if the pirates ever got one.
Yeah. I was just looking at the pirate switchblade in Epic Thieves, but anyway, that one is bizarre. So, yeah, I think it is a really interesting crew. I like Parley. I pretty much like all the abilities. It's a little...
Oh, yeah, I do as well, but finding a good ship to use him on, that'll be a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you want as much cargo as possible, no matter what, because you're probably going to need a helmsman, too. if not probably more. And then the reroll ability makes you want to put like SAT on or something. So the higher the cargo, the better with this kind of crew. But then you need points. So, and I would mention, I thought of the Zeus, but she already has hoarding gold, so it's kind of redundant. So,
And she's a 10 mast anyways. She's liable to win most boarding attempts she's in.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless, she gets pounded and then boarded.
Yeah. The flavor says, Enrique de Habsburgo's hatred of courtly life nearly cost him everything. Narrowly escaping an assassination plot, Enrique adopted a name and a mask while he plots revenge against the family that betrayed him. So
maybe it's the mask, like from Mysterious Islands, that guy.
Yeah, it's similar.
Or is that guy English? I forget.
Nah, he's Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, the flavor text for the first ship in the set, the Delphine, kind of the flagship of the set in a way. Castellanos' Black Dolphin has joined Vice's search for the head of, I'm just going to try to pronounce it, Coil Jacques, as they race against the mobilizing Spanish forces that seek the same relic. So, has some implications for the grand scheme of the set. And maybe we'll, as we very slowly work through the set, maybe we'll kind of understand the flavor more. I know I have looked at it a bunch when Kaz first sent it to me, but anyway,
I haven't actually looked at this too much.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at this too much.
It's still pretty new, so yeah.
So this is kind of fun to like take a real good in-depth look at this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it is a nice tie-in he did with the Moon Sorcerer, which we'll get to eventually. But from there, I guess we're on to the next ship. I guess I'll just start it. The Claudia is an uncommon pirate 4-master, 14 points, 4 cargo. Cannons are 2S, 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 2L at the stern. S plus S base move, linked to Gilder, who we'll see soon. It's a 4-masted schooner, and this ship gets +1 to her cannon rolls against Dutch and Spanish ships. So the Dutch are a custom historical faction, and this one seems like a solid gunship overall. Cannon bonus is, I kind of like how it's like doubled, so it's not just one of the two factions. That's nice.
Yeah.
Cost might be, I guess it's about right. I don't want to say it's too high without really playing it. It's kind of just a basic solid gunship, so pretty good overall, I suppose. Maybe a little less interesting than the last one, but that's fine. So.
Yeah, I yawned. Sorry.
No, it's alright.
I'm wondering, why did he put the 2L cannon on the back there? I probably would have liked to see that 2L on the front. That way I could have put an equipment on here to get some more range.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I like seeing different cannon arrangements. It can be frustrating in VASSAL, as we've discovered. Trying to like memorize the SS 10-master cannon arrangement is pretty much impossible, it feels like. But I like seeing it just because it changes it up, rather than like it makes it easier to not create clone ships. When I see the Albatross a few ships down has like a weird cannon arrangement, that makes it way less likely that you'll accidentally create a clone of either a WizKids ship or like somebody else's custom. So anyway.
Yeah.
But you make a good point. I like the best cannon at the bow too, of course. So, and then Gilder's ship has clashed with both Dutch privateers and Spanish galleons. His efforts have kept several Spanish warships occupied away from the suspected resting place of the head of Coil Jacques, how we pronounce it. So, alright.
Alright, let's go see who Gilder is.
Yeah.
Alright, Gilder is an uncommon 7-point pirate crew. He links to Claudia and Clara. I'm assuming Clara is right above him, a crew there. Okay, he is hostile Netherlands. I'm assuming Dutch?
Yeah.
He's a captain. And he's got S-board. Interesting. Alright, so that's actually kind of cool, because I don't know if the pirates have an S-board captain outside of the other version of Will Turner from Disney Pirates.
Yeah.
They have lots of named captains, and they have lots of, I think, 1 or 2 S-board by themselves, but they never got the S-board captain.
Yeah, just Will Turner, I think.
Like how, like, certain factions, like the Spanish and the French, got, like, 2 or 3 each.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a solid crew. Makes sense on the ship that he links to as well.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, not bad. And I'm seeing, like...
Alright, using him on his ship, though, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's alright. Nothing crazy, but decent, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, do we want to take a look at Clara, the other person he links to, or do we just not want to go down that rabbit hole?
I think not, just because I see she's linked to Primrose, so it's like, it's just gonna keep going on and on, so I think we'll move on, at least for this, yeah. And then Primrose is the next ship, so it would make, that's what we would start with next time anyway, so it makes sense to continue.
Alright.
Yeah, so, alright, so let me get the next window brought back to the top. Gonna move it around here, okay, go to that window. So now, the next set we're looking at is my own, called Pirates of the Epic Seas, which I'm still working on. Over 700 total game pieces now in my fantasy custom set, and it's growing by the week, not by the day anymore, so perhaps that's alright. We'll start with the cesspool tonight. We're just going to go over like 3 ships and then whatever link crew if they have any, so I've already got them mapped out. So the cesspool...
Alright, I'm pulling up your spreadsheet.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll just read it off. The cesspool is a cursed, rare, 6-masted junk. It's 16 points, 6 masts, 7 cargo, only S speed.
Whoa!
The cannons are 5S, 3S, 4S, 4S, 3S, 5S. So kind of symmetrical if you, like, look at the ship a certain way.
Symmetrical inaccuracy.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part.
Yeah, all short range, and yeah. Link to Rotus the Rancid, who we'll see soon. And the abilities are junk. The ship's base move cannot be increased, so it can only move S, no matter what, basically. Enemy helmsmen within S of the ship cannot use their ability. So it just slows everything down around it. So, and I'll read the flavor text. The Cursed have a lot of kind of disturbing stuff in this set. That's pretty much par for the course for them. Par for the Cursed, I guess.
Those who are queasy or easily disturbed, cover your ears now.
Beware. Well, this one's not even too bad, but the cesspool was an unnamed prison hulk abandoned in the Red Sea before being named by Philomela Jacob due to her disgusting condition. Rumors abound that the uncontrollable growing filth on the ship led to it coming alive as servants of the cursed. It is common for defecation to accompany cannonballs when the ship fires a broadside. So that's why you've got the name Cesspool. Might as well look at the...
So they're literally firing Duke poo out of their cannons.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to curse here.
Yeah, some of the time. Some of the other ships they got are all poop, no cannonballs. So this one is kind of both. And I'll just scroll down because I just used the search function to find them real quick. Rotus the Rancid is a common curse crew, 7 points, linked to the cesspool, of course. And he's got the Fear ability and the Horror ability, which is kind of a twist on Fear. So he has both. So the Horror keyword says, for each enemy ship within S of the ship at the beginning of the ship's turn, roll a d6. On a result of 3 through 6, one of the enemy ship's crew cannot use their abilities on their turn. So kind of a twist on the 5d6 roll of Fear. And he has Fear as well. And then, so pretty good at shutting down crew. You've got a couple chances at it. This crew can only use its abilities on the cesspool, which we'll see why in a second. This crew cannot be eliminated unless this ship sinks. So he's kind of undead, but he can't leave the ship. So Rotus is a slave.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, really. Rotus is a slave fiend who was chained to the cesspool's main mast long ago with an unbreakable chain, an unthinkable horror of flesh and maggotry. His stinking filth appalls those who are unlucky enough to encounter him. He has lost his mind and tries to join in boarding parties before being yanked backwards by the chain. He is known as the most stinky creature in existence. So this guy's just like this dead thing that's like chained to the ship. It's kind of like a comical effect where he tries to join in boarding parties and then like the chain like holds him so he gets like yanked backwards right as he's about to board. So
he's like, decaying, right?
What? Sorry, what?
So he's like, decaying, right? Or is he like, still somewhat alive?
I don't know, kind of both, kind of in between. It's kind of hard to
so
tell.
He's like, alive but dying.
Yeah, he's like so dirty.
Okay.
So dirty.
So I'm saying, eventually what, eventually could happen to him is, he gets like, so decayed and maggoty that he could probably just like, pull his arm off that's attached to the chain and get off the ship.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe that's what happens when he gets canceled. It's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like he's so disgustingly, you can't tell if he's like a corpse or still alive. Or like a zombie thing.
Because I'm picturing this guy in my head. Do you ever watch like The Walking Dead or anything?
No, I haven't actually. I know it's popular, but...
Alright, because I think of him as like, one of those like zombies who's like, really, really, really decayed.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, this is, we already went over some of the more powerful cursed rares in the set. Lately I've started to get into more silly stuff with them because I've already covered a lot of the super powerful stuff, or at least a bunch of it. So yeah, this ship strikes me as like a really strange one. It would be good to like warp it into the middle of a battle with a whirlpool, but outside of that, it's just so slow. It's gonna be hard to do much of anything. So.
Yeah. Although the 7 cargo is interesting because there's no cursed ship, I think custom or otherwise, that has that much cargo.
Yeah.
So I guess you could in a high, the cesspool.
Oh no, the Guich one, I think.
Oh, the GUI. Yeah. GUI has 7, but I don't really count that.
Okay.
Always. I don't really count her always.
Okay.
But with the cesspool, what you could probably do is you could, in like a really high point game, use this as like a super, super slow gold hauling ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd do that, and then when the time came for combat, I think between Rhodes has fear and horror, and then the ship cesspool has the helmsman canceling, so you've got 3 different abilities that can combine to shut down a decent amount of crew in the surrounding area. And if you add like a stinkpot specialist on top of that with a captain, stuff like that, it could become kind of like the ship is designed to make everything around it a cesspool and just slow everything down. So it could be okay.
Slows down everything around it, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite strange, but that's kind of the point. So anyway, all right. Then Kaliru would be the next one if you want to read that one.
Kaliru. Okay. So we have a 21-point, 5-masted cursed ship with 2, count them, 1, 2 cargo spaces. However, to make up for that, we have an S+S+S base move, 5 3L cannons, and a sea monster. Interesting. And your shorthand for if this ship wins a boarding party, you may eliminate all the other ship's crew, the massacre, as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, this one I haven't... I haven't really seen the
forum You're not quite sure on the flavor text, but somehow related to Kalim.
Yeah, that's
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think I made the name randomly, but then I realized it was similar to Kalim, so I was like, ooh, maybe I could tie it in there. But once I finished that...
Kalim, Kaliru.
Yeah.
Sounds like a chant.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the crew elimination ability, that's pretty cool. But what interests me is the 2 cargo spaces. Which means what you could do with this is if you got like, some bonuses, like the sea monster bonuses, like, a plus L or 2. So you could send this thing flying out at, 3S plus another L or another L. And this pitted against any kind of like 1 or 2 masted gold runner will win. Probably.
Yeah.
And with the 2 cargo space, that means there's room there for you to take a treasure in addition to wiping out whatever crew might be on that ship.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing you could do is you could get some fun stuff going with Chariot of the Gods, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Find a way to get a crew onto this thing.
Yeah.
Some kind of named captain is what you'd probably want to do.
Yep.
And just scrolling down. Well, just looking at Magnesis, maybe. He might be interesting to try to get on there with the Chariot of Gods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one strikes me as like a fast strike death machine. I would probably try to keep it submerged and then use the blazing speed to hit like an enemy gunship really hard and try to win a boarding party to take out crew before the enemy gunship even gets a chance to use them. And I think the plus L bonus, if I had one available, would come in handy in that case to guarantee that I get the boarding party off in time. So yeah, I'm gonna see I'll finish the flavor at some point. But yeah, it's pretty good overall for a squid.
Excuse me. Yeah, pretty good overall indeed.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, we already talked about Harvester and Buzzing Horror on the last, or not the last one, but other episodes. So the next one is the Heaven Falling, which is also a Switchblade, like the ones we've talked about in the past.
Dun.
Yeah, this one is yet another crazy ship set, as is kind of become the norm. So it's an uncommon 4-masted cursed Switchblade. The Heaven Falling is 25 points, 4 masts, 3 cargo, S plus L speed. Cannons are 3S, 2L, 4L, 3L. So once again, I kind of like to have wacky cannons once in a while. Link to the Evil Nun, who we'll see soon. And then the abilities are Switchblade. And if this ship succeeds at a blade ram, also eliminate 1 crew from the enemy ship. When the ship hits an enemy ship, also eliminate 1 crew from that ship. This ship gets +2 to her cannon rolls if she's within S of the Hell Rising when shooting, which is super specific. But I have the Hell Rising as a 5-master, currently number 4 in the set, and I think we talked about that one on the forum, but not on the podcast. But anyway, it's basically like a really expensive but really good, deadly 5-master with great speed, good cannons, escorting. So anyway, another.
Yeah, that's a juggernaut right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of see the implications of the name. So Heaven Falling, falling from grace, and then Hell Rising. So it's kind of like polar opposites, like, but they like converge. So essentially, they would like converge between heaven and hell. And then the flavor text for the Heaven Falling says, paired with the Hell Rising, this ship is truly a menace unlike any other. With blazing speed for a ship of her class, the vessel is able to shred enemy ships and their crew complements faster than a hurricane. Her bizarre captain is said to descend from Spanish Catholicism, but has devolved into utter madness. So, speaking of which, the Evil Nun is the Link crew, which is pretty simple. This is an uncommon cursed crew, 6 points, linked to the Heaven Falling, Helmsman ability, and then the horror keyword, which is...
Did they make a movie about this recently?
Yeah, it was partially inspired by that, and I think I'll try to get the image up here. And I think, let me just make sure I can load it. Oh yeah, there we go. So that would be the crew portrait, at least something similar, of course. That's not my image, to say the least. But anyway, the horror keyword I've pegged at about 4 points. And we just saw that on the other one. And then the flavor text, the Evil Nun says, formerly a religious leader in the heart of Barcelona, this terrible woman has turned pure evil. Adept at scaring all who come near her, the screams and stranglings leave many scarred for life. Out of the blue, she will turn up. If she looks at you, it's only a matter of time until you die. Captaining her speedy switchblade, she roams the seas, mostly on her own, coming and going before the cursed leaders can assign her to specific fleet missions. So she's more of a independent agent than some of the other leaders of the curse and some of their rare crew.
Yeah.
But she's also not as powerful. So just a crazy...
So she's like an independent little wild card that they can't control.
Yeah, pretty much.
But she's not worth them trying to control her.
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess.
Serious potential with taking out crew. Because you got Switchblade, Blade Rams kill a crew on successful Blade Rams, and then also the crew killing ability for cannon. So, and then really good speed for a Switchblade. So, pretty interesting, I guess.
Yeah. I yawned again. I'm very tired.
Okay.
Hopefully anyone who watches the podcast doesn't yawn with me.
If you use it with the Hell Rising, it would have to be like a super high point game, because they're both 25 points each, so...
Yeah, or a campaign.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Hey, maybe your hourly campaign. These things will show up eventually.
Yeah, probably in like a year or two.
And you never know, if you want to make a big statement, it's like, go for the throat right from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, it's an interesting combo. And then, of course, there's 4 abilities, so +2 to kin rolls with an S of the Hell Rising. So if you really did pair them up, the Heaven Falling would become even more deadly. So...
Yeah. Although, That's cool, but I'm not sure if it would ever, like, happen, even if you went out of your way to try to do it.
Yeah.
If only because in a tight-knit battle formation like that, the odds of both ships being able to draw lines of fire onto two different ships is slim, I would think.
Yeah.
At least if it's a scattered, like, group of ships you're coming up against that are, like, not expecting to be attacked, then you might be able to get the jump on them and be able to pull off the cannon bonus. But if you're coming up against, like, like a battle formation that is expecting an attack, and, like, the line of battle in Pirate CSG, like, against, like, some English or American ships, then it might be difficult, since these guys are sailing right at them, for them both to be able to get their cannons on different ships to get the cannon bonus.
Yeah, it would be tough, but anyway, it'd probably be like a 1 or 2 turn per game type thing. So, and they would both have big targets on them because they're powerful and expensive. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up Pirates of the Epic Seas for tonight. So now we're on to Fiends of the Blood Islands, which is Xerecs' his custom sets. Yeah.
Back to my guys.
Oh, yeah.
Although I could have sworn you and God Mason got through this one, but hey, we're here, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't...
Let's go.
Yeah, we're on to the French now, so... Alright.
Alright. The French. Shall I lead off, or do you want to take a stab at this?
Yeah, you might as well.
Alright. Alright, according to my spreadsheet here, for the French, first up we have the Revolution. A 20.5 master was 3S, 2L, 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 and 3S cannons. I believe that's 5. I think I counted right. 3 cargo, base move L, links to Capitaine Alois Garnier. Alright, and her abilities are L range cannons cannot hit this ship, and other ships do not block this ship's line of fire. This is one of the few ones that has a flavor text. After many losses to the English and their powerful warships, the French Navy created a monster of a ship.
I like
admittedly, that's debatable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I like the combo of abilities. It's a fun one. L immunity is very good, of course, and then the second ability is nice with the 2L cannons at least. So I think the cost is about right, despite the low cargo. I think it's pretty good. And I like this ship overall. I like the 5-master. So nice.
Yes, indeed.
And then the linked crew, Garnier, is a 9 point...
He's the only crew the French got.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, yeah.
He's a do everything.
9-point common French crew, and his abilities are Captain, Musketeer, and SAT. So roll a 5 or 6, you get the same action twice. So yeah, that's...
I think one of the beta versions of him had reroll instead of Musketeer. But then I decided, you know what, that's probably broken, so I changed it to Musketeer.
Yeah, it's still too good of a combo all in one crew.
Yeah.
As is, he reminds me of Commodore Peregrine Stern, the 9-point American name crew, with similar functionality, sort of. So yeah, I like him, but sometimes it's good to be careful combining 3 abilities into one cargo space on crew, but I've done that too. I think it's a solid crew, definitely. Quite a good one, and decent on his linked ship as well. So this is one that would see quite a lot of usage in most French fleets.
Most likely on his linked ship.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if the French have a 5-master with reroll built in, but I don't know if they got one. Probably not. Not that I remember. But anyway, they've got plenty of reroll crew. So 2-0.
Oh yeah, the French have lots of reroll crew.
Yeah, definitely.
They got 2 of the 0 rerollers, like you said. Plus, I think they've got like 2 3-point rerollers on their own.
Yeah.
So, all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right.
All right. You want to take the next one?
Sure. Yeah, I can start that. The Tour Eiffel is a 7-point flotilla, so no masts. Cannons are 3L, 3L, 5S, 5S, no cargo. T movement being a flotilla, and along with the keyword, it says when the ship hits an enemy ship, eliminate 1 cargo from that ship. So cargo wrecking ability, as I call it. I think it's fascinating. I saw this one earlier tonight too, and I think it's quite interesting with no extended range. I think the cost is fine. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a weird trade-off because I feel like the 3L cannons are really devastating, but the 5S's, between the short range and needing to roll a 6, they wouldn't usually hit and eliminate cargo. So I feel like I'm paying I feel like I'm paying mostly for the 2 3Ls, and the 5Ss are kind of just going to be mostly negligible impact. But that being said, it's still an interesting weapon. I think you would make a case that the Mont Blanc, the French flotilla, is probably better between extended range and a little bit more, slightly more dependable firepower. But that being said, a couple 3L cannons that eliminate cargo are still a nice addition to a Gold Runner or a gunship. So still a pretty cool flotilla, and maybe more interesting than some of the typical ones that WizKids did. Very similar to each other.
Looking at this, I'm thinking I either messed up and left extended range off. Either that, or I thought extended range was built into the flotilla keyword.
Oh, okay.
Although 7 points with that ability, if I had included extended range, it probably would have been 9, like the Armada.
That sounds about right.
So I might have purposely left extended range off this one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I completely forgot about the extended range on flotillas.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm an idiot.
It makes more. It does make it more unique. Whether that's what you want or not, but yeah.
Yeah. So she'll probably just stay as is.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll bother mucking about with giving it extended range retroactively or anything.
Yeah. Cool.
Alright, so next up we have La Sirene, or Sirene. 12-point, 4-masted ship. 2S, 2S, 3S, 3S are the cannons. 3 cargo, S plus S base move. And the ship gets +1 to her boarding rolls. Kind of generic.
Yeah.
Not very exciting, necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know what the name means. It's like the one from Return to Savage Shores. So it's kind of... And that one, that's a 4-master as well, I'm pretty sure, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any other naming. Not that it needs to be a different name, but anyway. Depending if you add flavor, maybe the name could be different or something.
Yeah.
Or not.
A lot of these don't have flavor, I'm realizing, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back in, add stuff, re-upload the spreadsheet, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of just, like, doing a reformat of the spreadsheet as is. Space things out just a wee bit more so everything is not so compacted.
Okay.
I'll probably do the same thing to return a Davy Jones, maybe, and do a re-upload of that.
Yeah. Yeah, the main edit I like to make is so the ability text is all...
The text wraps.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So then you don't have to scroll to find game stats. But anyway,
yeah, I'm doing that with the spreadsheet for Spherus Magna, which I'm making as I release the set.
Nice.
And I've realized that is really a good thing to do. So
yeah, that's one of my favorite.
Eventually, I'll be coming back and fixing these spreadsheets and putting them back up.
Nice. Yeah, overall the ship is a solid, if not super exciting, typical gunship. Reminds me kind of of the special edition 4-masters in a way. Some of the ones from WizKids. So.
Yeah, this probably could have been one of those.
Yeah,
maybe.
Almost like the Last Hope or the Jape, stuff like that. All right, so next one, Bullet 12 Brillante is a 15-point 4-master, and this one's also uncommon. So 4 masts, and the cannons are 3L, 3S, 3S, 3L, and 4 cargo, L plus S movement, and this ship gets +1 to her boarding rolls, and she gets +2 instead if 3 or more crew are assigned to her. I like that a lot. I've done similar on some of my ships that make sense once you add crew. Your boarding parties get more substantial, so I like that ability. Overall, I think it's a solid ship, solid gunship, maybe a little bit of a hybrid because the speed is quite great, really, for a 4-master. So this is one I like. So yeah, I would try to use this probably as some kind of hybrid, maybe Captain Helmsman, leave 2 cargo spaces open for gold.
Oarsmen to get that bonus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's exactly what you should do. Nice.
I'm just thinking about that. If you tooled this out to just be like, some kind of boarding focused gunship. So you got like, a captain, a helmsman, an oarsman or something, that's 3. So now you're getting +2 automatically. If you manage to squeeze on another crew who gave just a regular +1 to boards, do you think those would stack up so you'd get a total of +3? Or would the first part, say no stacking thing, you can't put the +1 to boarding guy on here?
That is tough.
Or is that like a question for Wolf?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'll try to look something up real quick in the code, because I know there's a +2 instead if it's like a submarine or sea monster. I'm going to look for that real quick, but I'm not really sure. That's a tough one. Because like the ability kind of changes based on how many crew there are, so it doesn't really stack, but or like it should be able to stack, but it still originates from the +1 that the ship has. So, huh. I can't really find the +2 instead.
All right.
I'm not finding that in the code, so I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I'm not really seeing. I'm trying to think. Charles Richard is one of them. Let me look up his name real quick. I don't think there's anything in the code on those crew, though. It's not really one that would normally come up.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything. So I'm going to record this question in my document here. Wolf is actually planning to put a rules thread up on Pirates with Ben soon, so I'm kind of waiting for that.
Cool.
Because then once he does that, I'm going to post the questions from the Savage Shores game, which are kind of intense, to start that one off. So.
Yeah. All right, shall I move on to the next one then, or do we have some more things to say about the Brilliant Light? I think
like
is how it translates.
Yeah, no, I like the ship, but yeah, we can move on. It's a nice one.
All right. Next up, we have the WASP. 17-point, 4-master with 3L, 4S, 4S, and 3L. 4 cargo, base move L. And her abilities are Clipper Ship, Explorer, and one of the ship's treasures is worth +2 gold when she docks at your home island. Clipper Ship is a custom keyword of mine. It allows... It's a specific type of ship, like how galleys are built a certain way, junks are built a certain way. This is one of those keywords. So clipper ships are about the size of a 4-masted schooner, but the masts are regular square rig masts when they're built. I made a prototype of one of these guys a while ago. I posted pictures on Mini Trading. I'm not sure if those pictures are available or not. But long story short, their movement is measured from their bow to their stern. So the base move of L means you can move, like, from the bow L, and then you would finish that movement with the L at the stern. I get a feeling this is easier to explain if I had a way to show it instead of telling it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically you would get the extra length of the ship as a movement bonus in a way.
Yeah.
So in this case, God Mason and I were talking about how it's probably about L plus S with a 4-masted hull type, either schooner or square rigged, or combo, whatever. So yeah, very good keyword, certainly. And this one seems, I don't know, and God Mason and I, we said that, yeah, the Clipper ships are in general are underpriced. We saw some crazy American ones a little while ago.
Oh yeah, the Americans here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they got some nutty ones.
Yeah, really. This one strikes me as maybe slightly too much tailor-made for exploring and like optimized gold running. So the speed is more similar to L plus S, and then you've already got Explorer and +2 gold already built in. So you basically don't need any crew, and then you've got solid durability.
You could toss on a helmsman.
Yeah,
because the helmsman ability would stack on with the clipper ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
You move that L all the way, and then the S all the way.
That's
make it even faster.
Okay, that's what I never. I think that's what God Mason caught that I didn't catch with one of the first times around. Oh, okay, that's where it gets bad. That's where it gets problematic, because it's not L plus S, then it's really L plus S plus S plus S. So, okay. Yeah, this is just, I don't know, man, this keyword. It's like the more you look at it, the more broken.
Battleship version 2.0.
Yeah, this is, oh man, this reminds me of what we were talking about. It's not as crazy as the American ones, but like, that's a good point. So once you add a helmsman,
it's still pretty good.
It's not plus S, it's plus 2S, essentially. So, yeah, I don't know if that really works. I think one thing to help would be +1 gold, +2 gold is kind of just OP in general.
Yeah. The other thing I'm thinking about for, clipper ships going forward from here, for all the other ones that I may or may not release, I mean, the thing about nerfing their cargo down to 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to put their point costs up through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or I'll just give them from here on out single movement base moves, L's or S's.
Yeah.
One of those two, or I'll just give them nothing else but clipper ship.
Yeah, that makes sense. It reminds me of I made a custom Cuddy Sark a long time ago, and I think I only gave her 2 cargo, even though she has 4S speed, which no other ship has. So yeah.
Dang, that's quick.
Yeah, but only 2 cargo, and I think she's like 18 points or something, so it's not actually that good of a ship. So, yeah, it was like an LE for one of the custom sets of the original Age of Sail, but anyway. Alright, so yeah, some edits could work. It's like the more you look at Clipper's ship, the more broken it becomes. That's how it seems, at least. Alright,
Yeah.
so into the common ships, we've got La Vicomtesse, and this one is a 14.3 master. The cannons are 3L, 2L, 3L, 2 cargo, S+S move, and broadsides attack. So this one reminds me of the Ark Royal, the English ship actually. Is a bit better for the same cost. Cannons
Well,
are...
it's got slightly better range.
Yeah, yep. And then, other than that, quite similar. The Ark Royal was overpriced in the first place, and I think this ship could afford to come down by a point or two. So yeah, 12 or 13 would be fine with me, personally.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say about this one, really.
Yeah.
And I made it, kind of.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can go to the next one.
All right. Shall we move on then?
Sure.
All right, moving on then. To the Feu de Foudre, 16.3 master, 4S, 3S, 4S, 3 cargo, base move of S+S. And guess what? It's your favorite thing. Battleship. This ship may repair at sea or any wild island. And this is the other one that has flavor text. The first battleship of French origin, the Lightning Fire, is sure to be a match for even the biggest English frigates.
Huh.
Sounds like the French are getting very confident.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting. Huh. For a battleship, I find it pretty intriguing.
Underwhelming?
I guess, but still interesting.
We got a total of like 6 shots.
Yeah.
So this battleship will give you the 2 shots per mast.
Yeah.
But the cannons aren't very good.
Yeah, but the range helps a bit with that. With the extended... Huh. Yeah, I find it quite intriguing for a battleship. This is still a keyword I haven't really played with, so I still would have to try it out. I'm inclined to say the cost is probably about right, but I don't know. I think a world heater like Barbonice would be extremely good. Then you'd have 6 shots to get a +1 bonus on. So yeah,
that's true.
I think I would definitely want to use a world heater. Obviously Captain Helmsman, and that would pretty much be it. Maybe an Oarsman, but yeah, I think the cost might be right, but I'd have to test it out. So I kind of like it actually compared to some of the other battleships.
Well, hey, the hourly campaign. Yeah, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, I think it's...
At least this one isn't like, a 4-master.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like the... Yeah. All right. So the next one is the Bell, and this is a common 2-master, 8 points. Cannons are 4S, 4S, 4 cargo, S+S move, and the Explorer keyword is built in. So obviously a basic gold runner. I would probably do a Helmsman to make the speed more acceptable, but other than that, pretty basic ship, solid gold runner.
Yeah. I believe this one, I think is like, a shout out or an homage or whatever to the Beauty and the Beast for the main character, obviously.
Oh, okay.
All right, we already covered Captain Louis Garnier. So, moving on then to the final piece, they have the fort. For 8 gold, you have the Bastille with 7 cannons. And the first 4 are 3S, and the last 3 are all 2Ls. Alright, abilities read such as follows. This fort gets +1 to her cannon rolls against any target. Once per turn, one of this fort's cannons may shoot again if it misses.
Wow. Yeah, this is like a mega fort.
Yeah, pretty good fort.
Target. Okay. Yeah, just with the abilities, I would separate them so it's clear that they're like...
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Again.
Yeah, it's basically like World Hater and Cannoneer. Wow. Wait, so With the +1 to cannon rolls, is that against one target once per turn, or just generic, like against all targets?
Generally across the board.
Okay, cool.
Against any target.
Okay.
Since, you know, there's not just ships that can be shot at.
Yeah, exactly.
There's sea monsters.
Yeah.
And other things.
What Wolf would say, probably say like against all targets or something like that would make it more clear. Because somebody could.
Or just this fort gets +1 to her cannon rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And drop off the against anything.
Yeah, make it super basic. Yeah, that makes sense too. Wow, this is intense. I like it. I like, you know, interesting forts. Like, well, I like forts in general, so I like this one quite a lot. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, it's basically 4 2S's and 3 1Ls with a cannoneer. Jeez. Yeah, I would love this in a campaign. This is intense. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I don't know. I guess the cost is probably good for regular games.
It's a serious investment in a small game.
Yeah, exactly.
In a campaign, 8 points, drop in the bucket, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like this one a lot, though. It's cool. Good ending to the night here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot that's exciting here with the French and Fiends to Blood Islands.
Yeah.
I mean, the Revolution is kind of exciting, and the Bastille, I guess, is exciting, but everything else in between is a little bit meh.
Yeah, I think there's...
Or is borderline overpowered.
Yeah, some more interesting. I think the battleship is more intriguing or less OP than the other ones. If the flotilla doesn't get ER, that makes her pretty interesting, so... It doesn't always have to
I don't think she's going to. I think I'll just leave her as is.
Yeah, makes her more unique. It doesn't always have to be crazy, interesting, and wacky, so... Some of mine go...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, some of mine go, like, too far, so...
Yeah.
But that's always fun, so whatever. Alright, that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for watching and listening, of course. Pretty much an hour. So we'll be back next time. Episode 35 might be the Return to Savage Shores set review, but we're not totally sure yet. Not going to commit to that yet. But anyway, so thanks for watching and listening. And without further ado, go out and plunder.